Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Shall we carry on with my altered book? So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're all well. I am excited to get stuck in. Okay, so I'm just going to take off these paper clips so that they don't get in my way. Right, so we're on this page. If you remember, that was last videos. And we're still sticking with the sort of the greens and the light browns. We're not quite ready for the reds and oranges yet. Let me just check. There we go. I think the camera is straight now. Okay, so this one I was going to have a side pocket here. But I'm not a lover of the thumb notch for the page that I want to do. So I still want it to be a side one, I think. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to fold this over slightly to get rid of that thumb notch. So it's still a side pocket, but it's just a little bit more, yeah, different. Okay, so we're going to need to glue that down. So that's the great thing about this type of a journal, you know, if you change your mind, providing you haven't, you know, glued your pockets down yet, if you've just folded them or what have you, you can change things. Don't feel like things are set in stone if you've folded pockets or made thumb notches and such like. As we know, nothing is set in stone until you glue stuff down, so don't you worry about that. Of course, because I've done that, I am going to have to just quickly just re-ink that edge, just where I didn't need to ink the page behind, because obviously it was going to be covered up. It will still be covered, but just want to make sure that we're all good. So my plans for this page is to use a very pretty page from the Liana scrap kits that I've been using for this project. I've got this. Now what I want to try and do, and I don't know if this will work, so you know, bear with me as I decide what to do. What I would like to do is use a torn piece of this, just to make it a little bit more interesting, and because I don't want every page to just be matted where I'm covering up all of the text. I do kind of want it to be, you know, different really through the book. What I don't know, and I can't decide, is how much of this, like what I could do is a band across the middle like this, so you've got text top and bottom. I could do a band at the bottom so you've got text at the top. I could do a band top and bottom so you've got the text through the middle. I can't decide for the life of me what would look right until we tear the paper, of course. So I'm thinking I want to use this section because we've got the browns and the greens, and I don't want like a huge portion of this. As nice as this is, it doesn't quite fit with what I'm going for. So shall we just go for it? I'm going to start by tearing higher than I think I need. I'm just going to tear right the way across, like that. So we've got a nice scrap now. Okay. Just trying to decide. Pretend this is our band, and then we can see whether we want text top and bottom. Perhaps. And then this is what it would be like with a band of text in the middle. All right, I think I'm going to go with a band of this top and bottom, so we've just got a bit of text across the middle. So Sorry, I'm just just thinking. So do we want to tear this again? Because ideally I want this brown bit in the corner because I think that's quite nice like that. So if we tear this again, okay. So this side is obviously deeper because I kind of want it to be like this. And then, don't know if we should use this part or the top bit. So let's, do we want to tear this one down? So no, I think keep it the same. Sorry, I'm just thinking, obviously this is a completely new way of doing a journal, so I'm just trying to figure out what looks best. And I think something like that would be cool. Just want to make sure that I'm tearing my papers backwards so that I don't have like a really thick line, white line across them. Okay. I don't want to completely cover up the book page. Not with the paper anyway. So I think if we go something like that, and then the other decision I have to make is whether to continue this onto the back or like this inside of the pocket, or to back that with something different. I think for the starters I'm going to just tear it where the pocket ends or starts, like that. Okay. I'm just going to keep that for a moment, just in case I do want to use that. Just making sure that the line of the page that Leanna has done is still sitting in the middle. Okay, right, let's put that to one side and focus on this one. So yeah, that should be fine. And then we want to see take off some of this edge. Like that. Okay, let's get this inked up then. Yeah, sorry about the slow start. It's one of those things when you try something new, you're still trying to figure out, you know, does this look good? Is this the right thing to do? And well, for those of you watching this series, thanks so much for joining me for the experiment. Okay. Now the other question I need to make is whether I can get away with just gluing it straight down and having this go in the middle, which is my preference if I can, but I don't know if that will cause problems for the book. So I'm just going to see about what this would be like if I were to use my bone folder and just squeeze that in like that. I don't know if that would work. Or whether to, I don't really want to tear it, I really want it to be this continuous thing. I just don't know if it's like physically possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and glue it down, and then if it doesn't work, we'll just have to tear the paper, and yeah, no harm done. Today is about experimenting. There we go. So thanks so much for joining me. It's lovely to have you here again with me, and I appreciate the company always. There we go. I've got my tea instead of the candle today because there's only room on my desk for one or the other. So I'm hoping I'll be able to not forget about my tea. So If you don't see me drinking it, start calling out and I might hear you. Okay, let's go with that. Just move that up a bit. Okay. So I'm just using the Kalau because I can get, you know, good coverage with that. But I'm not, you know, I'm only using it lightly. I don't want it to be really thick. And I'm pressing down with the bone folder, but not so much that I'm putting pressure on the spine. And then I'm just going to turn that just so that I can see if I can try and mould that into place. Now, this is probably not how people do it, but I'm doing it that way just to try it. And I think I'm pushing the boat just to see. And I think with a little bit of extra glue just along those edges, I think that's actually okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, right, so this is the other piece, isn't it? So we're going to have that. Yeah, I think it will look, you know, different and interesting. And then we're going to bridge the two together with something pretty in the middle. Just need to decide what that thing is. I really want to use this fox because colours wise he's got the oranges and the browns from the paper, and also the greenery behind him, so I just feel like, you know, he goes really quite nicely with these colours, so I'd like to use him if I can. And there's probably some words on the paper that's left behind, the text that's left behind from the book page, that I probably want to cover up. I don't want to cover up the entire text, but just the bits that maybe the language isn't quite so nice or something. So it will have to be strategic placing, as they say. Okay. So, oh, I didn't tear that edge. Okay. That's a good thing about the Kalau, is it does give you time for stuff like that, and it doesn't leave behind quite as much of a shiny residue as the beacon or Fabri-Tac does. The only thing is that try not to stick your papers together. Just make sure that's fine. Yeah, only a little bit got on the edge there, but glue and ink everywhere, isn't that what I said last time? Okay, right, that's that. So again, I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time. I'm just going to work that in. Again, I'm pressing hard enough to bend the paper, but not so hard that it will tear it. So, you know, go easy if you're going to do something like this. And then I just want to, as I say, just run my finger along here just to see if that molds it into shape. As I say, this is just me playing. This isn't official like guidelines as to what to do or anything. So yeah, take everything I say with a pinch of salt throughout this series, but this is all about me just trying things and just having a go and seeing what happens, really. Right, so I do need to go in with some more glue in on the edges and probably some extra inking. But I just want to decide what we're doing about this, the back of the pocket. So here are our options. We can, oh, no, they're here, aren't they? We can continue the, so that one? Is that the, oh, I don't know now. I think it's that one. No? I'm missing paper. Am I being really dumb? I thought these were the off. Oh, it goes that way. Oh, goodness me. You can tell it's morning, can't you? Okay, so the options are we can either, oh, that's really funny. We can do that, Or we can go with a scrap of something. Probably is going to be the answer, isn't it? So let's just see what this would be like. So we've got the red and green leaves here. So let me just see. Maybe. We've got this one that's kind of like a wood grain. Or I was thinking possibly this one. I'm feeling the wood grain, I think. Yeah, I think we'll go with the wood grain. So I don't need a huge amount, I just want like a piece of it. So oops, take that one. And I'm just going to have to take these borders off, sorry. It's one of those things, I didn't want to tear down any papers until I knew exactly how everything's going to look. Like, I find it incredibly difficult to plan ahead. Like, I can plan ahead to a certain point, and then once I'm at that point, I need to wait until everything's down before I can carry on, if that makes sense. Which is not a bad thing, I'm sure, you know, many people are like that. Until you know what you know, I guess. Know what you know what you like. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, we'll have something like that, I think. Not so sure now. I think that probably looks better, but I'm actually going to just grungy it up a little bit because that paper is a lot lighter than what we've got here. And so I'm thinking if I just grungy up this middle, that might help tie the two in together a bit more then. I mean, it's going to be covered up with a journal card or ephemera or whatever goes in the pocket, I know that, but until we get to that stage. And when you take things out of the pocket, I want it to all look right. So you're going to laugh. I really thought that we might have gotten like a couple of page spreads done in this one video. I think that was ambitious. We're going this way, aren't we? Okay. Right. So I just want to tear off that bit. Okay, right, let's get this inked up and then I'll glue that down, and then I will hit pause whilst I just go around the edges with my thinner nozzle of glue, and then we will start building on top of these pages. As I say, I want to use that fox in some way. I originally thought I was going to use him as a little tuck spot or something, which I might still do, but then the other part of me wants to kind of have something here and here to join the pages together, if that makes sense. So we'll just see what happens. Okay. And then I just want to just ink this up a bit more. And of course we need to actually glue the pocket down, don't we? Okay. It feels so different when you've got the layers of paper over the book. It starts feeling much more sturdy, which I didn't expect. That is interesting. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to hit pause whilst I just get everything, you know, make sure everything is completely glued down. And then we'll come back and we'll figure out what we're going to do with Mr. Foxy. I like him down there. We'll figure it out. Alright, I'll be back in 2 secs. So that's everything glued down and inked up and such like. So I think we should now get this pocket glued down. So I'm going to use the beacon for this, just to make sure that it's, you know, really well stuck down. Because in Barbara's video, she actually went down her spine inside her pockets with a thin bead of glue, not enough that it would create like bulk in the spine or anything, but just enough that it would give it extra protection, I think. So I'm gonna, yeah, follow in her footsteps basically and try that. That'll be a nice deep side tuck pocket. I'm just gonna, now that the glue is in the spine, I'm just gonna run that down there nicely. Okay, make sure. Yep, looks fine. Don't know if I've got, yeah, I just need to do a little bit of trimming where I've got pieces of paper stuck out, but there we go. We have a pocket inside, our first pocket. Okie dokie. So I really wanted to be able to use this fox on these papers, but whilst I just had you on pause, I was just trying things out and it wasn't working because I've got some words on here that I need to cover up. I think the book is about, I don't know, war or something, which is, you know, not so nice, is it? So I started looking at these leaves and I was basically just placing them so they would look like falling leaves, but there's some words here about like war crimes, which I want to cover up like that. And what I would like to do, so because we have a side pocket here, I don't need to, this can just be decoration. On this side there is no pocket on this side of paper, and this, if this was journaling spot, then I wouldn't worry about it and I'd just decorate it up. Because you can't journal on this paper, and you can't journal over the book page, or you could, but it would be tricky. I want to create some like tuck spots or something. And for that, I really wanted to be able to use this fox, but I just don't think the fox goes with the leaves, unfortunately. So then I started looking at this. I've got this, it's like, it's not excessively thick, but it's like a chipboard type thing, which I think is enough just for a little something as a tuck spot. And then I thought, if we add an extra leaf, you could have something tucked in here, just a little something to journal on. And then this makes it all sort of flow in together then. It's probably one leaf too many, isn't it? So I think it's probably going to be that. I really wanted to use the fox. I didn't want to do leaves again because we did leaves on the last page. But it is what it is, and you just got to go with what works, don't you? So the fox will come in later. Fox will be used another time. I'm determined. So let's get these all inked up. I probably should have done this whilst I was on pause. Sorry. So yeah, that will be that page done. Because I don't know what I'm going to put in the tuck spot. We haven't got to the ephemera part yet, so I'm not going to worry about filling pockets or things until we get basically I want to get all of the pages decorated for the autumn spreads, and then we'll go back to the beginning of autumn, and you know, start filling the pockets, making the ephemera and filling the pockets. So that's that. I don't know, I don't think we'll get time to do the next page in this video, because it's going to be different again. So, as I say, I'm just placing that so that it's just covering up the words I don't like. I'm really enjoying working on this project already. You know, we're only a couple of pages in, but it's been fun. A challenge, yes, but a fun challenge, and that's really great. I think something like that. I will need to add extra glue, the usual story. Obviously I don't want to spend a fortune of time on these videos just gluing and gluing, because that wouldn't be so fun. And then yeah, I think that's all of the words covered up, or if they're not covered up, they're actually, think like this leaf goes through the word prisoner, so that it doesn't look like that anymore. It doesn't say prison or anything anymore. Ooh. If I keep it in place though. Okay, just get this leaf down and then we'll do the tuck spot. Oops. And that will be that. Another page done. Sorry I had to click you on pause, but it's just, you know, with this intricate gluing, it's really like, well, I have to get my head all in it, and yeah, it just doesn't work for video. But we'll get there. And again, got the word dull. I just want to cover that. Okay, there isn't any words on here. And then I might just ink over the back of the book page where the words are, just to not grungy it up too much, but just tone down the light colour to go with the autumn pages, you know. Okay. Alright, so how should we do this tuck spot? I think I will use the beacon. I don't think it's necessary, but we'll go with the beacon. So I'm going to glue the bottom section of it. As I say, I'm not going to put anything heavy in here. It'll just be like some note paper or something just for journaling on. So if we do that. I'm just getting some lids on. There we go. And then, yeah, and then you can just tuck something in there. So if we pretend Mr. Fox is going to tuck in, it will just be, you know, something like that tucked in, just for a bit of journaling, because as I say, we've got, you know, space for a great big journal card here. But this project, if you didn't catch my intro video, the premise of this project is each page is like a week's worth of journaling for each season. I think that's what I said I was going with. So obviously I want to make sure that there is some note paper or a card or something that can then be, this will be a week's of journaling, and then whatever goes in here will be journaling as well. Right, so I'll do the intricate gluing off camera. So there we go. That now, we move from that to that. I think they flow. Maybe this one was a little bit more autumnal than this one, but yeah, I'm happy with that. So the next page is going to be this. I saw this video, this idea on Tatty Treasure's channel. She did a file folder type page for these two pockets. So we're going to have a pocket here and here. So we're going to do some stuff with packing paper, and this will be journaling. So I'm going to stop the video there and just, yeah, keep these videos to just, you know, a double page spread at a time, unless I'm really quick with something, but I think, yeah, it will take me a while to get into the groove of it. So I will say goodbye for now, and I'll catch you on the next video where we do the page, the page I've just shown you. And I hope you've enjoyed, you know, seeing this page come together. I think it worked out with this nice torn paper, and it's great because now I know that I can put the paper across. Like, I don't always have to tear it down the middle. I won't do it like this for every page because I don't want to put too much pressure on the spine or anything like that. But for the one-off, I think it's worked out. So there we go. Experimenting time is now over for today. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for keeping me company as always. And I look forward to chatting some more on the next video. See you then. Bye bye for now.